You can see how people are reacting to your product, how people are reacting to your display, how people are reacting to the packaging that you talk to them one-on-one to give you the insight, to give you the emotions, to give you the experiences and the emotion that is. Interviews allow for one-on-one conversation to explore motivations, experiences, emotions. Hi everyone, hello viewers. My name is Rosemary Watetu. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to this channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you and welcome back. Kindly always like, share, comment. Make sure that you always interact with the topics that I'm talking about. Always make sure that you comment on the part that you've understood. If you have a question, always comment down there so that at least I can know whether we are together in these classes or not. We want to learn more about this. So as I said, I'm the CEO and the founder of Wall Street Africa Consultancy, which is a full market and social research company located in Nairobi, Kenya. We do data collection in all the countries in Africa. We also do data analysis on behalf of our clients. We do questionnaire design and all that is required in the market research. So if you have any quotation, feel free to contact us. Our contacts are down there, so always feel free to contact us. So as we talked about last time, we talked about quantitative research and we said it's a part of research, it's a type of research. So today we are going to talk about now the second type of research, which is qualitative research. Qualitative research is a way of exploring ideas and understanding experiences by gathering and analyzing non-numerical data like interviews, observations, or documents. So as we said earlier, quantitative is all about numbers, and now qualitative is all about non-numerical data, which is interviews, observations, and documentations. It focuses on the why and how of human experiences rather than just measuring things with numbers. So we want to understand why, the question why. We want to also understand the question how. So think of it as a diving deep into a topic to understand the richness and complexity of people's perspectives. So you want to gather in depth in about a product, about people's perspectives. How do they feel? How are they related with a certain product? How do they have the experience with a certain product? Their perspectives. Qualitative market research uses methods like they use focus groups, we use interviews, we use in observations to gather rich and in-depth information about customers' behaviors, attitudes, and preferences. So for the qualitative, we're talking about attitude towards a certain product, the preference towards a certain product, and the behavior of people when they use a certain product. This data helps businesses understand why behind customer decisions rather than just the what. So we are talking about the why. Why are they using this product? Why? Why? The question why. You have to ask yourself why. So I'll talk about characteristics of qualitative research, and we have one, focus on understanding experiences. Qualitative research aims to understand how people persevere and interpret the world, their feelings, and their behaviors. So here we are going to talk about the experiences, their feelings. How have you interacted with a certain product? Your behavior towards a certain product, your feelings towards a certain product or any businesses outside there. So the second characteristics, we have non-numerical data. As we said, for the quantitative, we use numeric data, but for the qualitative, we use non-numeric data. It primarily uses data that isn't easily quantifiable, such as interview transcript, observations, focus groups, discussions. So you can't be able to quantify as compared to quantitative research. So for the quantitative, we can be able to quantify, but for the qualitative, we are not able to quantify the the data. So here we're just doing the interview transcript, we are doing the observations and the focus group discussions. We have a discussion on the non-numeric data. The third characteristics, we have flexibility and adaptability. Qualitative research designs are often flexible and can evolve as new insights emerge during the research process. So here we're talking about the flexibility, how often the research design can evolve as new insights emerge during the research process. So is it for the qualitative, we have the flexibility because it's open to any answer that you want to give. But for the quantitative, it's about numbers. You have to select the numbers. But for the qualitative, we have flexibility and adaptability. The fourth characteristics is in-depth exploration. When you talk about in-depth exploration, it allows for a detailed exploration of a topic, seeking to uncover the nuisance and complexities of human behaviors and social phenomena. So here we have to explore, we are exploring the topic, we get to probe more. We don't have to go according to a certain answered question, certain range of answers. We are open to probing and open to exploring the topic to maximum. The fifth characteristics, we have context specific. So here, qualitative research findings are often specific to context in which they were collected. So here we are going to talk of a specific context. We can't go beyond that topic. So we are going to rely and focus on one specific. Researcher involvement. The researcher's perspectives and interpretation play a crucial role in the research processes. So here in the qualitative, we have to have researcher involvement. They have to be very involved. They have to be very perspective and interpretation. They have to be crucial. They play a crucial role in this research process. We have inductive reasoning. Qualitative researchers often start with observations and develop theories or patterns from the data rather than testing pre-existing hypotheses. So here is just all about the hypothesis, all about the patterns involved in the data, all about testing the pre-existing hypotheses. We have the eighth characteristics is holistic perspective. This one, it considers the whole picture, taking into account multiple factors and their interaction. So here is all about the whole picture of the survey, the whole topic, the multiple factors involved into the survey. We have real world setting. Qualitative research often takes place in natural settings where participants can be observed in their usual environment. So here we're talking about the usual environment, the real world. So here is about natural settings where participants can be observed in their usual environment. You are observing their behaviors, you're observing how they interact with certain product, how they interact with different things. For that, now we can go to the examples. We have several examples of qualitative research. One is focus group. This is an example of how qualitative research is done. We have focus group. An example is a cereal company uses focus group to test different packaging designs and gather feedback on which design is most appealing to target consumers. So you can use a focus group to be able to know which packaging design can help out, which packaging design is appealing to consumers, so that at least when you settle to a certain packaging design, you've already done the analysis and the feasibility studies of that, and you've identified the best out of all the samples you have. How it helps. So focus group, we'll check on how it helps. Focus groups allow for a dynamic discussion among participants, revealing a range of perspectives and potential issues with a product or concept. So here you're given a discussion. You're open to a discussion. You can give any of your opinion about a certain product, about anything that we are surveying about. Maybe let's say the example that we had there about the packaging. So you can give any discussion. You're open to all the opinions that you're going to give about a certain packaging. So the second example is in-depth interviews. These ones we call them IDIs. The in-depth interviews are an example of it is a software company conducts in-depth interviews with current users to understand their pain points and preferences regarding the software interface and features. So here maybe there's a certain software company, they want to know how people interact with their product, how people interact with their software interface and their features, the features that is in the software. They want to know how people they prefer and how people have those pain points in the company in those features. So how the in-depth interviews helps, I'll give an example. How it helps is interviews allow for one-on-one conversation to explore motivations, experiences, emotions, providing detailed insights that may not be revealed through other methods. So when you talked about focus group, it's a group. So you are talking about 6 to 8 people. When you talk about in-depth interviews, IDIs, here we're talking about one person, individual, one-on-one. So you get one-on-one interviews to the current user, somebody who is using the certain product, somebody who has experience of that product. So you talk to them one-on-one to give you the insight, to give you the emotions, to give you the experiences and the emotion that is he's experiencing in the certain product that he or she has interacted with. The third example is observation. Observation, I'll give an example of observation. A cosmetics retailer observes shoppers in their shop to identify which displays attracts the most attention and the pads customers take and the product they examine. So observation, you want to observe how people are getting displays. How are you displaying your product? Are they attractive? If they're not attractive, which product is attractive? Which color do they like in the display? Is the display well organized? Are they able to spot a certain product in the display? So that is how we talk about the observation. You observe how people behave when they come to your shop, how they behave when they go to the supermarket, which product brings more attention to them, and how it helps. Observation provides real-world insights into customer behavior and interaction with a product or service, which can reveal unmet needs or areas for improvement. So this one is very good to give you the areas that you need to improve, because at least you can see how people are reacting to your product, how people are reacting to your display, how people are reacting to the packaging that you have. So at least you can be able to make a decision on how people are observing. The fourth example, we have the case studies. Case studies, I'll give an example. A mobile phone company analyzes the success of a specific marketing campaign in particular market to understand what strategies drove the campaign's success. So here is the case studies. You have a campaign going on. You have a campaign that is moving on in the market. So you want to understand what strategies drove the campaigns to succeed. I'll give how case studies help. Case study deep into a particular situation or individual, providing a nuanced understanding to customer behavior and preference. So here we are going to understand in depth. You're going to provide a nuanced understanding to the customer behavior and preferences. Content analysis. The fifth example, we have content analysis. Content analysis, I'll give an example. A brand analyzes social media posts. A brand analyzes social media posts and reviews to identify trending topics, sentiment, and emerging concerns related to its products and services. So here you're going to understand the trends of topics, sentiment, and emerging concerns of the related to its products and services. So here you're analyzing the social media posts, the posts that people have posted, the reviews that people have given after they've used the product, what they've marketed, what they use mostly. So that is how you get the content analysis. How it helps. Content analysis helps understand public perception and sentiment towards a brand or a product, allowing for timely adjustment to marketing campaigns and product development. This one will help you to make sure that the public are understanding, the public are able to give you the trends that are happening and the emerging concerns about a product, since it's open to the social media. We have the sixth example, which is ethnographic research. I'll give an example. A clothing brand observes customers using their clothing in real life scenarios to understand how they interact with the product and what needs are not being met. So here you're talking about the observing. We observe customers using their clothing. We observe how they use it in real life scenarios. We observe how they interact with the product, how they interact with maybe the clothes provided to the consumer. And I'll tell you how it helps. Ethnographic research provides deep insights into how consumers use products in their natural environment, revealing opportunities for product improvement and new product development. So that is how it helps. We go to the seventh example, grounded theory. This one, a research team uses grounded theory to analyze interviews with customers to identify the underlying factors that drive brand loyalty. So here is all about the loyalty. How loyal are you? If you've used a product like maybe we say Vaseline or lotion, which lotion are you loyal to? Do you keep on using the same lotion, or you just go and pick any other lotion just to test? Or are you loyal to one type of lotion? How grounded theory helps in qualitative research. Grounded theory helps researchers develop new theories and models based on data, providing a deeper understanding of consumer behaviors and motivations. So this one is very straightforward, because you're able to get new theories. You're able to get, based on the data that you are given, you're able to understand the customer's behavior and motivation to a certain product. We go to the eighth example and the last one. The eighth example, a team of researchers work with a company to implement a new customer service approach and then analyzes the impact on the customer satisfaction. So how does it help? Action research is a cyclical process of collecting, analyzing, and presenting data to improve a specific aspect of companies' operations. So this is an action. So you're doing an action. You are providing an aspect. You're going to do a data analysis of a certain aspect in the company that need a change. So that is how, those are examples of qualitative research. Now we go to examples of common qualitative research questions. So we are talking about now the questions. Which questions do you expect in the qualitative research? Which questions are commonly used? So the first question is, what is it like? What is it like being a teacher in the rural area? So we are asking, what is it like being a teacher in the rural school. So here we're talking about, what do you feel? You give your opinions of how you've interacted with people in the rural school, and you're able to give an insight on that. The other question is, how do people in, let's say, Nairobi County make sense of the recent political events? So according to the political events, how do people make sense on the recent political events? Another question is, what are the experiences of parents of children with special needs in Nairobi? Maybe you have a child with special need. You need to give us experiences of how parenting is. Another question is, what are the key factors influencing student academic performance in, maybe let's say, Nairobi public schools? What are the factors influencing? You outline all of them. How do residents of Nairobi perceive the changes in the public transportation? Maybe you have an issue with the transportation, how to move from private to public transportation. How do they perceive with that? Another question is, why are the underlying motivations and emotions behind the decisions people make about their health in Nairobi? So that's another question in the qualitative part. And for today, I think we've done with the qualitative topic. If you have any question, make sure you comment down there. If you need any clarification, always comment down there, so that at least I can be able to answer all your questions that you need to be answered. Thank you so much for having your ears to me, for giving me your ears. Thank you so much for listening to me. Until next time, bye and see you.